So my name is Sharon and I'm speaking to you from the Juicy Effect in Ubud in Bali. And I wanted to speak today about how we can each contribute to healing the division that we see in the world today. So rather than going into story, which is really easy, and I've been there myself, where we go down the rabbit hole of feeling disempowered or lost, and it really hurts to witness and watch what's occurring, what are the action steps that we can each take? So there's a universal truth that whatever we see in the external world is actually a reflection of what's going on in our own internal worlds. And in the collective, we see this in a heightened way, as it's a summary of what's going on for all of us. So a number of different traditions point to this. In the Vedas, it's stated as the macrocosm, so what's showing up in the external world is a reflection of the microcosm, the internal world. In Hermetic philosophy, it's stated as above, so below. And in quantum theory, there's no way of actually separating the observer from that which is being created. So the line there is really blurred. So all of these systems of truth, all of these traditions, and the new sciences are pointing to the same fact, that actually everything is linked. So it asks us, if we take this on, it actually asks us to look at ourselves, to look at our own internal world and start to clean house. Because this division that we're seeing is, and it is in a heightened way, for sure, but it's a reflection of either a division in our own energetic system. And an example of that could be an imbalance of male and female energies, and that's a really simple one. But it's also a reflection of the division of the way we interact with each other on a day-to-day basis. And we see this in a heightened way in the collective. So if we choose to clean house and really examine how we interact with others, we can support the healing of that division. So what is one way in which we can do this? And of course there are many systems of truth, but one way that I've been leaning back into and kind of reflecting on and rediscovering is the Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, an old friend. And I've never met him, I just mean that I have read that book many times. I would of course love to meet him. So he asks us to follow four agreements, four principles in the way in which we live our life. And it can really support healing that division in the way we interact with others, because it asks us to examine on a fundamental basis, not just our actions. It's pretty easy to clean up our actions, but cleaning up our words, how we speak about others, but also cleaning up our thought processes and those reactions that we actually move through when we interact with others. You know, and largely these are unconscious, so we're bringing out these unconscious ways, these stories to the surface, bringing out our shadows so that we can shine some light on it. And once we shine light on the shadow, of course it dissolves. So these principles, what are they? So the first one is don't take anything personally. So if we are interacting with someone and someone shows up in a way that triggers a reaction in us, this first agreement asks us not to think that it's about us, because actually it's about the other person. And I mean that in a kind and compassionate way. What I mean by that is we don't know what's going on for that person. And that person may be going through a tremendous amount of challenge and being really stretched with the resources that they have to deal with the world. And with what's happening right now on the planet, it's an easy assumption to feel is correct, because I don't know anyone who's not experiencing some level of challenge. And there's a very simple but profound Buddhist philosophy, which is that every human will experience challenge. Every human suffers, and every human is looking for the same things. We all want peace, we all want happiness, we all want love. So this agreement, or this way of looking at the other and the way in which they've shown up, just asks us to take a step back and make the assumption that something's going on for them. This invites in compassion, and it allows us to respond in a way that is more compassionate. It also allows, which is really nice, if we show up in a way that isn't great, that we will see this compassion mirrored back to us, because obviously that's going to happen as well. That's part of being human. So that's the first one, don't take things personally. The next one is don't make assumptions. So if we're interacting with others and they say something or they do something that we once again feel up and we start to go into story, we can ask questions about it. Why did you say that? What did you mean by that? Because we can make assumptions about, oh, you said that, which means this. And then we go down the rabbit hole of assumption. And that's going to be based on our own wounding and our own stories and our own lens. So we want to clean up those miscommunications with others and ask them why. Why did you say that? What did you mean by that? The next one is to always be impeccable with your word. So my grandmother and my mother drilled this into me. Sharon, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. So thanks, Mum. Thanks, Gran. So words are energy. Words have power. You know, it's a vibration. When we speak about others in a way that is either gossiping or not positive, we're not just lowering our own vibration, we're contributing to lowering the vibration of the collective. So being impeccable with your word is really considering with great thought what it is that you want to say, and only saying it when you've put thought into it. So not just mindlessly talking or talking about others in a way that is not supportive. And the last one is do your best. So what that means is showing up and doing the best that you possibly can to show up as the highest version of yourself, which on some days will be really messy because you may not have slept, you may not be feeling well, and there might be lots of other things going on for you, but we have it in the back of our minds and our consciousness, and we bring that to the forefront that we actually do want to show up in the best way that we possibly can. So they're 4 agreements. They are definitely a practice. They are not easy to apply because we're all humans, but it is something that I've been leaning back into again, and it's something that I do find to be very supportive and very helpful. And especially when we see what's going on in the world, and especially when we know that, you know, if the planet is going to heal, that it's about each and every one of us doing the work. What else can we do to support at this time? I would say leaning back into the power of the word. So pray, but combining that with heart energy is really powerful. So praying is a positive affirmation of what we want to see on the planet. It's a confirmation of the world that we want to create. It's manifesting positive things with our words. We can sit with spirit, tune into the healing energy that we all have access to, and send that to our loved ones, to the places on the world, in the world that most need it. So there are lots of things we can do. So I hope this is helpful. This was just my own way of, for myself, feeling like I was actively contributing to healing what I was seeing in the world and witnessing in the world. These are the steps that I was moving through. So if there's something in this that resonates, brilliant, awesome. And if there's something in this that you don't agree with, just allow it to wash over you. That's also awesome. The last thing I want to do is create any more division in the world. And there are many versions of truth as there are people and beings. So yeah, if you would like assistance with energy healing in terms of bringing your own system back into balance, or shadow work, or you want to find out more about what I do, there will be some information that is available at the end of this video. Thank you, and sending so much love.